Have you ever wondered what it would be like to live life in a foreign country? Hi, I'm Stacy. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm just your normal girl, someone you might be able to relate with. I will be posting videos about what urban life looks like for a farm girl raising 3 boys in a city in a country she did not grow up in. I think family life is very important, and I want to connect with others and share life together. Hey guys, welcome back to Cambodia and to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a Q&A, and I asked you guys for questions, and then I also just have a couple fun questions at the end. And we got a big passion fruit drink here that we can share. Okay,
share?
Yeah, it's a share. Yeah, so, you ready for this?
Okay, so how has moving to Cambodia and raising a family here affected your marriage? Maybe it hasn't. You are away from family, friends, and church support.
And this question is from Deb Algeyer.
You want to answer first? Me too.
You can go ahead.
That's a great question. I think it's a hard question to answer because we were young and fairly newly married whenever we moved over. I mean, we were married 3 years, I think, before we moved over. 4 years maybe, but it's definitely, I think, has made us communicate a lot more, maybe. We spend more time together on the mission field than what we do in the States. What we would have in the States probably, just because in the States you have at least the guy typically has a long work week. But on the mission field, at least from our experience, it's been that I'm a little bit more flexible, so I can spend more time with family throughout the day. But then evenings sometimes can get filled up quickly. So it's just sometimes you have to flip-flop your schedule around a little bit and be a lot more flexible. But as far as our marriage, I don't know.
For me, I would say, like, with that, like, he's able to come home for meals and stuff for the most part, but he's like gone during the day. So I really like that he can be home for meals, and then the flip side is though that then he ends up being gone evenings more just because of ministry and stuff like that. Or it involves the whole family, like we all go out to help with the ministry. It depends what it is, what's going on.
And Stacy's been able to go along with, like, if we do Bible studies or stuff like that, she's been able to go along and help out with that, so that's been really neat. As far as how it's affected our marriage, I would say personally, the mission field is an excellent place to raise your family and to have kids and to build your relationship with your wife. It's you can do it together as a family. It definitely promotes good, healthy relationships, I would say.
It definitely can be stressful, just because of you're raising a family in a third culture. So there's definitely like stresses that come with that, but there's pros and cons.
Mm-hmm. And as far as being separated from family and friends and the church and stuff, you have your ups and downs. Right now, particularly for me, it's been pretty hard because I'm a deer hunter, so I enjoy hunting, and in Indiana, the opening day of archery season was just this past weekend. So obviously I miss that. I miss hearing stories and all that stuff, or just going out and sitting out in the woods and hunting. We've been blessed with having some visitors from our home church and some family members come over. My parents have come over once. Stacy's mom's been over here a couple times, and sister's been over here a couple times. My older brother Tyson, he's coming over, and him and his wife are coming over this next spring, so we're excited about that. So we do get to see some family and friends occasionally. But
we're sitting on our roofs. There's a lot of background noise and like a breeze blowing and stuff, so hopefully you guys can hear us. But this question is a really good question, and it's one that we could talk about for a really long time. One thing I just thought about, one more aspect of it, is like having a baby in another country where they don't speak your native tongue. And like one thing I really miss is being able to go to my doctor and talk to my doctor about how I'm feeling and be able to say it like easily and them know that they understand. Where my doctor here, like she does speak some English, but she's got a big accent and she doesn't always understand what I'm saying. And so it feels like maybe you're not getting quite as good a care. But I mean, she's a good doctor. I really like her. But I do miss being able to like talk to my doctors and nurses easily. Okay. All right. Are we done with that question? Okay. So the next question is from Jeremy and Barbie Slaybach. I guess that's how you say it. Here comes a plane.
There's people cutting. I hope you're a bit.
No. What if we can't even do it? Like we're just gonna try to keep it.
Let's do it.
All right.
We need to get you a microphone. If anybody's out there who wants to donate a microphone to Stacy,
there's an airport not very far away, so there's planes flying and yeah.
There's someone doing some. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but there's someone doing the construction right now. So, anyhow.
So, are you planning to stay or live in Cambodia indefinitely?
And then also this here.
And from Charlene Kennel, she says, are you in Cambodia for a limited time, or is this where home is for you? So those questions are kind of the same.
I'm going to answer that?
Yeah, we're here indefinitely.
Basically, what I would have to say to that is we're here until God calls us somewhere else. A friend of mine, I don't know, you guys may know him, Rick and Renita Rhodes. They've been a tremendous blessing to me, to us. And I remember one time I was talking to them and they're like, they want to serve God wherever God calls them, if it's wherever. Like, so for us, it's the same. Like, if God's called us here, we want to be here until God calls us somewhere else. And I'm not exactly sure how that's going to look. Basically, our goal of being here is to plant a church or churches, and if, depending on how that all works out, if we reach that goal, then we're going to be open to going somewhere else. I don't know if that's going to be back to the States or wherever. I don't know. That's one thing that we think about a lot and pray about, and we're not sure what God has for us after this. For now, we're here in Cambodia, and this is our home. We're raising our kids here, so this is where we're at.
And yeah, we get homesick sometimes, but for the most part, we feel fulfilled here, living here. And if we lived back in the States, outside of God's will, currently, we would not feel fulfilled. So maybe one day God will call us back. We'll see. We don't know. Yeah,
one of the things, like whenever you know you're in the center of God's will, there's a tremendous peace in knowing that, and there's nothing else that can give you that peace. I like to tell people that God's will or God's plan for your life may not always be the safest, but it is the most rewarding and the most fulfilling. Safest in our view of safety, as in the streets here, driving on the streets is not very safe. So for us, that's what it means.
Yeah, that's fine, that's good. All right, next question.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is from my sister Martha, who lives in Oregon. And she asked the question for Dewey. She says, let me find it. What did Dewey think the first time he saw or met me?
Probably one of my first initial thoughts was, I wonder if she's interested in mission work. Because whenever I was, we had went to EBI, and just before that term started, I saw her at a restaurant, and one of my qualifications for a lady, for a girl, was that she is interested in mission work. So I'm sure that crossed my mind. In fact, I remember it crossing my mind at the beginning stages of the time we met. What about for you? I'm going to bring up a question here.
What was my first thought when I saw you? Like very, very first thought, or like after I knew you a little bit?
Whatever.
Probably like my very, very first thought was like, oh, he's a good volleyball player. If I didn't know you at all yet, like that's how I first met him. Like we were playing volleyball. Then like after I knew you a little bit, I know that I really, really respected you, and like thought that you were way too good for me. And I liked how you asked like. We were at Bible school together, and he would ask like really good questions about the Bible, like deep questions, and like really want to know the answers and stuff. He was really curious, hard questions, and I really respected him for that. And even like in volleyball, like he wouldn't get mad and angry like some other people do if, you know, something happens or they lose or whatever. So yeah, I thought that was really good and really respected him.
Okay, next question.
So this is from Martha also, and she wants to know the favorite thing to eat in Cambodia and also the grossest thing that we've eaten in Cambodia.
My favorite thing to eat in Cambodia is probably pork and rice. I just actually had that for breakfast this morning. It's like it's a breakfast dish. They grill I think they marinate and then grill the pork. It's really thin slices of pork.
It is so good.
Yeah, and then they put that on rice, on top of rice. A little bit of soy sauce and some other stuff.
Yeah, it has like garlic and spring onion and stuff on there. And then you can get like clear broth, or like a bone broth that you can dump over it if you want it to be a little bit juicier. You can also get like pickled veggies that are spicy to eat with it. It is so good. And sometimes they'll put a fried egg on too. It's actually a duck egg, a fried duck egg on top.
What about you?
For me, one of my favorite things is being able to get drinks, like this passion fruit drink I have, or you can get like iced coffee really easily on the street. You can get like a tea with lime in it that's really good. It's a little bit sour. Yeah, and because it's so hot here too, like you need lots of drinks and stuff like that to drink. Okay, what about grossest thing? Here comes another airplane.
What's the grossest thing you've ever eaten?
In Cambodia?
In Cambodia.
So the grossest thing I've ever eaten in Cambodia is probably the duck egg, or what's it called?
Yeah, duck egg.
Okay, so the grossest thing I've ever eaten in Cambodia is probably the duck egg. It's like 21 days. It's like the day before they hatch. They take it and boil it, and so you crack it open, and inside is like the little yellow fuzzy duck. And they take a spoon and just like eat it right out of there.
It's not yellow, is it? Is it like a black?
Oh, it's kind of, yeah, it's black because it's like cooked and stuff. Usually they eat it with like green leafy herbs and stuff.
I would definitely agree with you. That's the worst thing that That's the worst thing that I've ever tasted. I think Stacy made a video about that, so she'll put a link somewhere. Yeah, that thing's disgusting. Another dish that I've had that is disgusting is like a soup that they add all kinds of stuff in, and one of the things that they put in it sometimes is like blood that they've cooked in like a jelly type stuff, but they'll add that into the soup just to add flavor. So if I see a soup now that has it in it, I don't touch it. It's disgusting.
Yeah, gel blood is not very good. All right, and this is from Dan, my brother-in-law in Oregon, and he has a question for Dewey. He wants to know whether humans should colonize Mars or not.
That's a good question. If you ask Elon Musk, yeah, absolutely. If you ask me myself, I think it's just going to be way too expensive and way too time consuming. They can put all that money into a lot of other really good stuff and helping the earth here that we live on become a better place. So that's just my personal opinion. I think it'd be kind of cool to go see Mars for a little bit, but not colonize it. It's going to take way too much time and money.
Okay, are you done with that one?
Yeah.
All right, so next I have some like fun questions to ask each other, and we can just say like him or her, Mr. or Miss, or
I'll just
you or me.
Point to you.
All right. How about we read every other one?
Okay.
So the first one is, who sneezes the loudest?
Definitely.
Definitely Dewey. He sneezes so loud.
I get that from Dad.
Yeah, it definitely runs in his family. Okay, you.
Who's better at reading a map? Definitely me.
Who is better at whistling?
I don't know. I don't hear you whistle much.
Yeah, I can't whistle. I don't know why. Like something is wrong with my mouth. I can't whistle.
Who burps the most? I don't know. Neither one of us really burp a ton.
Yeah. Probably our kids when they're newborns.
Yeah. Zeke is the burper of our family.
Yeah, seriously. My turn. Who is better at wrapping gifts?
Stacy, I would say.
Yeah, I would say I'm still not super good at it, but
Who takes longer? Who takes longer to do their hair? Definitely Stacy.
although Dewey does like takes time to shave and stuff, all that, but not every day. All right. Who is the most inventive?
I enjoy trying to find solutions to problems and stuff, but Stacy does that good too, I think.
I would say like I enjoy being more like creative, like artsy. Like I like to watercolor paint and edit videos and stuff like that, whereas Dewey is more like,
let's figure out how we can do this easier, do this better.
yeah.
And thinking about new inventions and stuff. So yeah, probably me. Maybe. Who is the biggest hoarder? Oh, me, I would say. Right?
I would say you, just because he has these different like hobbies or inventions he starts, and then eventually like moves on to something else, and then like the stuff involved in that one just ends up getting stuffed in a corner somewhere.
I like to save it because who knows, I might want to use it later.
Okay. Who is the worst loser?
I don't know.
That's kind of hard. I think we're both good losers.
Sometimes.
Really would be.
Depending on what it is. If it's like a game or something, then I have a hard time losing. If it's like I want to win. If it's a heated discussion or an argument, I have a hard time losing as well, but Stacy has a pretty hard time losing too.
Like if Dewey and his brothers and dad get together and play Monopoly, it gets really competitive and they have a hard time losing, I guess you could say.
We all want to win.
But it's in fun. It's not like serious mad. I would say he's actually a really good loser. But who has the best fashion sense? Like matching colors and stuff.
Definitely Stacy, not me. I hate matching clothes. I'm not very good at picking out colors that go together.
I'm not super into fashion either, but if it was up to Dewey, he would wear like probably the same one or two colors all the time.
Pretty much. Who has the strongest opinion? I would say more often than not Stacy.
Probably. If it's something I care about, I can have a really strong opinion. If we're in a big group setting and people are like a meeting and people are asking for my opinion, it's hard for me to give it because
she doesn't want to be noticed.
Yeah, I would rather just kind of stay hidden. But if it's just Dewey and I, then I can definitely have a strong opinion.
Who is more likely to go on a jog? Me. Obviously Stacy's pregnant, so she's not gonna go on a jog. But even before that, like,
even before that, I would quicker do like a walk or do like a workout on a video or something like that. Who is more likely to start a conversation with a stranger?
Me.
Definitely. Who is more afraid of?
This is mine. Who is more afraid of cockroaches? Probably me.
Probably.
I hate cockroaches.
And Dewey sees it, like we have a lot of cockroaches in our houses here, and when Dewey sees one, like he like will scream.
Sometimes. Don't say that too loud.
If it like, especially if it's on him or really close to him. Who stops to look into a store window most often?
Probably Stacy.
Probably me. If Dewey goes shopping, he's like,
Yeah.
go in, get the thing, he's on a mission and come back out. Whereas for me, I'm like, oh, you know, while we're here, let's look at this aisle or that aisle or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. That's 20 minutes of material, honey. I think you should probably cut it off with that.
Alright guys, that's all we have, and we'll see you guys again next week on Friday. Bye! Thanks for watching! New videos every week. I try to do them on Friday, giving you glimpses into my life. Be sure to subscribe for new content and comment below to introduce yourself. I'd love to meet you.